What's so funny?
I'm giggling at chat because everyone wants to give you bacon, and the battle cry is now.
Can you just let it happen? Free Frodan. Can we hashtag that? Free
The battle
Frodan?
cry has now become: if we can't give Dan bacon, we're going to crash the NASL bot.
Yes.
So everybody is
La revolution. It's beginning. People are understanding. They're just gonna ban my account from chat.
It's what's going to end up getting happen. It's going to be like, all right, well,
but it's okay. Give me bacon or give me death.
Frodan will be martyred for.
I'm gonna hold up a big strip of bacon and like and wobble in front of everyone.
You're gonna wobble the bacon?
Yeah.
I mean, you could eat the
My
bacon.
hand will get greasy. And I can't play StarCraft.
Cook the bacon, but no, you're gonna wobble
it's the
bacon.
They're gonna wobble the bacon. I'm gonna wave it. My flag. I'm gonna start a new country, and my flag. You know what's gonna be? 3 bacon strips waving.
You know what? That's a good idea for like the the capital of our Minecraft city.
Bacon City.
Dan and I have been playing Minecraft. We've been playing it on the Xbox. Downloaded it.
To be honest, it's like the first time I've been playing Minecraft. So I'm like, because before I played for like 2-3 minutes on my friend's account, when he already did everything, it was kind of overwhelmed. I was like, yeah, this is kind of cool, but like I didn't get the journey of doing it myself, you know. And I think it's really fun. Just some of the stuff you can build. Like, imagine we just did all of StarCraft 2 in Minecraft.
We could do that.
It's crazy. Like we create our own units.
It is possible.
I know. It's a project I would like to see done.
It would probably take 10 million hours.
Yeah, but we can also like do the cheat thing of like porting in, coding it directly, right? Like maps.
No. No, that's not how we roll, bro.
Can you go to space in Minecraft?
No.
Okay, that's the only thing you can't.
You can only go like 60 blocks high.
So basically, as far as our tower went.
Yes. Command center first for, no, I lied. 1-Rack's fast expand for select, and Zenio is going to go exact same opening that he used on Abyssal City. Now, Daybreak is a map where Zerg players should feel a little bit more comfortable. You can sit back, you can play defensively, you can defend drops, you can take expansions, and you can just slowly work your way up to that ultimate Broodlord Infestor army that everybody's having so much trouble dealing with these days.
Yes, and I'm actually really curious to see what Select has planned, because this is a map that Zenio chose, and you know if this doesn't pan out, I'm wondering, because Select is capable of playing all kinds of style. You know, Select is a guy that likes doing lots of multi-prong harassment, so Hellion Banshee is something that he loves doing, but mech isn't always something that Select is capable of. He can do Marine Tank, he can do Bio, he can do anything that really fits whatever he feels like in the situation. He can even 2-racks in game number 3 if he feels like the series is getting out of hand. Select is known as one of the sickest 2-raxers in Terran vs. Zerg, especially outside of Korea. Early speed from Zenio, and he's already taking his drones off the gas. Very standard opening. In fact, we might see Zenio again go for a 7-minute expansion and just go for some standard upgrades while pumping out enough drones. Yeah,
I think that's exactly what we'll see. Select's probably going to do the exact same thing he did on Abyssal, because, hey, why not? It worked. As we do see the reactor going down for the factory, we're going to see some Hellions almost certainly. And it's really the question becomes, at what point are these guys going to get active out on the map, as we see very passive stances in the early game?
Yeah, and you know, Select hasn't really been diving too much. Actually, in fact, most Terrans have kind of stopped. Before they kind of, you know, said if I have 4 Hellions, if I have 6 Hellions, I'm just going to try to go for it and run by and kind of sacrifice them. Terrans have realized containing Zerg might be the better option. But there we see a very early 3rd base from Zenio. A second factory started for Select, so he's going to go double Blue Flame Hellion. This is a build that MVP tried employing a lot against Life. Yeah,
ironically, this is kind of a dive build, Dan, where you just kind of make a ton of Blue Flame Hellions and go for it.
Yeah, you go for like 12 to 14, 16 Blue Flame Hellions.
Oh, but we're also seeing a starport go down, so we might actually be seeing a Blue Flame Hellion drop, or a series of Blue Flame Hellion drops. Coming here for Select.
That's really interesting. I'm curious to see how successful it'll be, considering Zenio. I mean, he should understand what Select is capable of, especially in the first game. He's moving out with some Zerglings, trying to see how much he can scout his opponent. There's Overlord's now on his way into the base, and as soon as he sees the double factory, he'll know, get his wall up, get a couple extra spines.
Lings at the front will be dealt with. Nice building placement there by Select, keeping him safe, keeping him secure. This Overlord's going to see everything, though. That's one bummer.
Nice.
It's kind of nice for Zenio how that timing worked up. Units at the front, forcing Select to answer to that, while the Overlord scouts in the back. Meaning, of course, Select couldn't pull those Marines back to kill the Overlord. No, it's not going to be Medevac. It's going to be a Viking first, which is really smart. That's going to shut down the Overlord and take away a lot of Zenio's map vision.
Yeah. Actually, well, Zenio has one Overlord out in the map, so... but still, you're right, Ben. That one Viking can clean up so much, especially these Overlords right outside the main base. Zenio going for very standard run-of-the-mill double Evo Chamber with getting Zerglings out, getting a few defensive Banelings at the same time. Select won't really dive until he has Blue Flame finished, but now he's got 8. And 8 is kind of like that medium between, well, you can run by, but you're going to lose a lot, and how much damage can you really do? He's going to poke up the ramp, scan and see Zergling's Banes, but he's running straight into a huge pack of them.
Select's not scared. He just wants to go for it, and he will clean up everything up at the top of the ramp at the cost of about 4 or 5 Hellions.
Yeah, that's usually why you run in with like the 10 to 12. Zerglings can even get a surround on them. When you have so many, as soon as you run behind the extractors, I mean, there's so many Hellions that doesn't even really matter. But regardless, you see that Select is going for a 3rd factory and a 3rd command center, transitioning directly back into a mech play, which is, of course, very, very still good on this on Daybreak. But you said you don't like mech nowadays, right? Especially on Daybreak.
Well, it's not that I don't like mech on Daybreak. It's just that I think Zergs have figured out the answer to mech, and I think there are a couple kind of on-paper build order counters that mech has to contend with, especially in the form of Roach Drop when you bring a couple of Queens with it, because you just can't move quickly enough to deal with the Roach Drop, and the Queens are going to shut down the Banshees. And it's such a simple, basic little thing, but it is so hard for the meching turn to deal with. And I think we've seen multiple instances in the NASL of Zerg players employing that kind of play and Terran just being crushed by it.
Well, you know, Zenio is going to stick on double melee, double Evo upgrades and go for melee as his choice while getting a Spire. Now, last time we didn't see the Mutas be that effective, but in this scenario, Select is going directly for tanks, kind of a conventional mech prior to just a few months ago we saw quick Thors be squeezed out to kind of compensate for the lack of anti-air. In fact, Select doesn't even have an engineering bay, so Mutas could be very effective.
Hellions continuing to harass around the bottom half of the map, just picking up a couple of Queen kills as they make their way over into the 3rd base. Spinecrawler's going to chase them off, but man, they're doing a great job roasting Zerglings and even drones. They are lining up in a big way. Select's got a chance to kill a lot of workers, and he's going to succeed in that endeavor. Holy smokes.
Oh my goodness, there's still more. The massacre isn't over, Ben. The drones are running as fast as they can. Ring around the rosy. Lots of damage was done. 25 workers have been killed, but the main majority is at the 3rd, and he's not done. He's going to do 2 last Hellions just for the icing on the cake, and able to clean out almost everything. And at the end of it all, Select evening out the supplies. Very nicely done.
Yep, grand total of 30 worker kills, and it makes these economies very, very even. Zenio right now has taken a 4th base, doesn't have the drones to saturate it just yet, as we see Select is doing just what you talked about, Dan. He's going to continue with this meching trend with a heavy emphasis on his siege tanks. First Mutas are coming, and in terms of anti-air, well, there isn't any.
Yes,
and this could be a problem.
None. Like, Select literally has 4 Marines and a bunker to defend against in 3 spots. He doesn't have an engineering bay. He is going to take a lot of damage, and it's a full minute before a Thor can even squeeze out of a factory. Zenio will have a lot of freedom to harass as much as he wants.
The only good news for Select is that Zenio's initial mutas, or initial muta count, is not game-ending. He's only got 7 out, 5 more to follow. But I mean, Select, he's only got 2 factories with tech labs anyway, so he can only make Thors 2 at a time. Mutas, I think, yes, they have been spotted, so Select knows what he's up against. He's going to immediately queue up 2 Thors, maybe even a 3rd. But oh my goodness, there's nothing here. There's just absolutely 0.
Oops. SVs have to run. They can't really do anything in this scenario. Just wait for it. Oh, targeting down the armories. That's going to be a nice win if Zenio's able to pick them off successfully, and looks like he will at least be able to get one of them. Oh, and it's +1 weapons of all of them.
Big
like
SCV trade wants to try and save the day, but it will not matter. Painful loss there for Select. He might end up losing the +1 armor as well. And that's not something I think he can recover from. Mutas are here, but a single Thor will not be enough. A little bit of magic box action is going to shut that down. With the SCVs repairing, that could change things a little bit. Zenio really ought to take care of that armory. +1 armor is actually going to end up finishing, and that'll make Thor's a little bit more resilient against these Mutalisks. Is it going to be enough to save this Thor's life?
There's one SCV not even really repairing. He needs all of them. In fact, he has to pull more SCVs. And these Mutas already have bought Zenio the game, really. I feel like Select is just so far behind. Wow, GG. Select not even going to play it out. Zenio with an awesome, swift stab in the back with Mutas. Awesome play.
Yeah, very well done there by Zenio. Select just, he tried to change it up. And Zenio, with either calling his bluff or by virtue of the fact that he didn't change it up, just kind of wins the build order war there. Has Mutas against a player that has no anti-air. Not a whole lot more to say than that.
Yeah, it was great because he scouted the double factory, knew to be prepared, made minimum amount of units. He made maybe 15 Zerglings, a few Banelings, a Spine, and was able to defend against the Hellions. The third run by was really effective, but if Select was able to defend against the Mutas, but overall, you're absolutely right, Ben. Simple build order win from there. Again,
brought to you guys by GoToMyPC, remote access to your computer from anywhere on the planet. Check out that software over at nasl.tv/p/GoToMyPC. We're going to take a break. Game number 3, the rubber match. Will Select qualify for the playoffs? We will answer that question when we return. Don't go anywhere. NASL's back after this.